AITA for giving my mill the wrong address, so she could no longer send her granddaughter gifts. I 42 meters have been married to my wife 39F for 15 years. We have a wonderful 14-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old son. My wife's mother has some views that I don't agree with. 2 years ago, for our daughter's 12th birthday, she sent her a book about crash dieting that promised something like 10 pounds of weight loss in 3 days. Our daughter was devastated because the underlying message was clear as day. It was a month until she started eating a whole plate of food for dinner again. Our daughter is a healthy girl. She is highly active, studious, and most importantly, happy. Her grandmother believes that she's not reaching her full potential, whatever that means, and thinks that she'll be on the front covers of magazines if she can just shed some weight. Since she made these views clear to me, I have made it my mission to block any unsupervised contact, and this includes gifts. About a month ago, with my daughter's upcoming 14th birthday, Grandma texted me asking for our new address. Normally she would ask my wife, but since she didn't answer within 10 minutes, she texted me instead. My wife would have given her our real address, but I was able to respond first with a fake one and tell my wife no response was necessary. I couldn't guarantee that I'd be home to intercept any gifts, and my daughter would open something addressed to her. It gave her some numbers a street somewhere that I wasn't even sure existed. A couple of weeks later, after my daughter's birthday, I realized that it did not in fact exist as her package was returned to her. Both she and my wife were furious, and my wife amended the address I gave her before. Grandma insisted it was a completely innocent package. Well, the day it was scheduled for delivery, I decided to work from home. When it arrived, I opened it up and found a baton twirling uniform, my daughter's hobby. Sound innocent enough? It was at least 2 sizes too small. I sat my wife down with the stupid thing in front of us and said it was clearly intentional, which my wife refuses to acknowledge. Now she and her mother are even madder at me for throwing the uniform into the neighbor's garbage with the neighbor's permission. Did I handle this correctly? NTA. You don't have a mill problem. You have a wife problem. It's time for you and your wife to have an honest discussion about how she views your daughter's weight. I agree. I'm wondering if neighbor's trash is big enough to fit mill as well. OP needs to sign up for USPS mail notifications so they know whenever mail is coming. It is free. Shows image of every piece of mail slated to be delivered. I think it is called informed delivery. So, I applaud you standing up for and protecting your daughter. For that, you are NTA. While people are quick to say you are, as you didn't communicate with your wife, given that she refuses to see an issue with her mother doing this, I disagree with Reddit and you are NTA there, as well. Bravo to you for prioritizing your daughter. She needs someone in her corner, for sure. That being said, I would make an appointment for couples counseling and talk to the counselor specifically about this issue, how your wife doesn't have concerns with it. You two do need to communicate and get on the same page. Your mill needs to stop bullying and body shaming your daughter, who sounds like a normal healthy child. Mill can go pound sand. I would go as far as to talk to your daughter. Does she even want to see Mill? Otherwise go low no contact. NTA. Your wife is disrespecting your values as the other parent and your daughter's mental well-being in order to enable her mother's incredibly disgusting behavior. You've already experienced the damage it did previously. Your wife is being irresponsible by allowing it to happen again. She needs her eyes open to the harm she's opening her daughter to. NTA. Mom and Granny seem determined to psychologically damage your daughter in spite of your best efforts to be a responsible parent. Maybe you need to have a serious discussion with your daughter about how to ignore ignorant and hurtful people. AITA for installing a lock on the bathroom door after my bill kept barging in. My F-25 husband's M30 brother, Bill, M33 moved in with us after his divorce few weeks ago. The problem I have is that he started barging into the bathroom whenever I'm using it. He never knocks or anything. Another thing is that he only does this when it's me in the bathroom, not his brother. I told my husband about what I'd noticed, but he laughed it off and called me paranoid. It was embarrassing because his brother would see me exposed and it made me uncomfortable. My husband said he spoke to him and he apologized but did it again. When my husband and I got married, we promised to not have locks or lock each other out of any room. So the bathroom didn't have a lock. I was really considering getting a lock, and I let my husband know that if his brother walks in on me in the bathroom one more time, then a lock will instantly be installed. He didn't say anything. Well, yesterday, Bill walked in on me showering. He knew I would be in the shower but barged in anyone claiming he needed to pee. I had enough. I went out and got a lock and installed it. My husband got home, saw it and blew up on me saying I violated an agreement that I was part of and went against his wishes, being uncomfortable with locks in the house. He demanded I remove it and promised and guaranteed that his brother won't walk in on me again, but I refused. He's been pissed about it since then and is giving the silence treatment. Info: I'm not close with my Bill, my husband is. I don't even talk to him that much, and I barely even sat with him at any gathering before he moved in with us. Update: so before I provide an update on this situation, it's worth noting that my Bill used to do this with the bedroom too, but at least I'm not always exposed in the bedroom. So my husband came home and I told him the lock will not be removed till his brother leaves, and his reaction was to try and remove the lock himself and tell me to quit acting childishy. What I did was not shout or scream but pack a bag and go to my mom's house for the next few days or so till this gets resolved somehow. On my way out, I saw my Bill in the driveway smoking. He knew what the argument between me and my husband was about, but instead of stepping up to fix it, he offered to take me to my mom's house saying that my husband could use some space from me. This made me cry the whole Uber ride to my mom's house. The reason I feel offended is because Bill tends to be hurtful when he talks about others. I did all I could to win his approval, but he thinks less of me and thinks I'm childish, just like my husband says. When my husband and I got married, we promised to not have locks or lock each other out of any room. That seems a tad unhealthy. Even the best relationships need boundaries, and everyone deserves the option of privacy. Let me guess, your husband suggested the no locks idea first. NTA. Op needs to tell her husband she's not locking him out, she's locking out her creepy ass Bill who keeps violating her, and since no one seems to care, she needs to protect herself. Now I'm curious to know why he's divorced. NTA. The no locks thing was of agreement between you and your husband. When his brother moved in, it wasn't you and your husband anymore, and therefore the agreement comes to a hold. Tell your husband the lock can be removed as soon as his brother is moving out. Why not just get one of those bar things you stick underneath the doorknob that jams the door shut? No lock, no barging in, win-win all around. Otherwise, this dude can remove himself from the house and the problem is gone. NTA. But I am really concerned for your safety. That's not normal behavior from either of them. Violated an agreement? That's ridiculous. Your husband cares about controlling you. That's all. And your Bill is obviously up to no good, and he needs to go. It's not innocent, you're not being paranoid. You are being gaslit by the sound of it, though. I don't normally advocate for divorce. But maybe you should consider it. Your husband should be making you his #1 priority. Period. Which means your comfort and safety in your own home. You told him that you were going to put that lock in if your Bill decided on being a peeping Tom again. So he yelled at the wrong damn person. He should be yelling at his brother and kicking his self out of y'all's house. Edited to add, wow, I am completely blown away by how this blew up. I didn't expect that at all. And thank you for the awards. My first time ever receiving any. I feel like I have officially arrived. NTA. Bill is doing this on purpose and not respecting any boundaries. I know he heard the shower running. This is extremely creepy for him to barge in on only you. Keep the lock. AITA for refusing to return my neighbor's special binoculars unless his wife comes and gets them. Hi. IF28 recently moved into a new neighborhood. All my neighbors are lovely. Especially my next door neighbor, bless his heart, wink wink. He's married and has 2 kids. I noticed that he's been looking towards my house for a while. So far I'd caught him doing it twice. He had his binoculars with him and was basically, seemingly looking at my living room. I hate confrontation, so what I did was close the curtains and go about my day, but it started escalating. The other day he was peeking at my backyard, where I was sitting, from his balcony, and his binoculars fell in my backyard. I looked up, and he was gone. He knew that I saw him. I took the binoculars and put them inside. In the evening, he came knocking on my door asking how I was done and whatnot. I rolled my eyes, but kept it civil. He then brought up the binoculars and said that they must have fell in your backyard earlier today. I was like, wonder how that happened? He said something about his kids probably messing with them and asked if I could go get them for him. I said I have them, but I won't give them to him unless his wife comes and gets them herself. He looked at me shocked and angry and said that these binoculars are his and they're special because he has them from when he was in military, and said that his wife has nothing to do with this. I told him that I will give them back once his wife shows up and asks for them. All he has to do is send her over. He threw a fit saying he can't send her because then she'll misunderstand the situation. I told him there is not misunderstanding if they're kids, we really the ones using the binoculars, and insisted I won't give them back till his wife comes and gets them. We got into an argument, but he kept his voice as low as he could, then left looking furious. He's been complaining about me wanting to stir drama and keeps demanding I return his binoculars back to him and leave his wife out of it. AITA, forget his age. He's 37. NTA, honestly, good for you for standing your ground on it. The whole situation is creepy AF. Alternatively, to avoid, potentially, the police getting involved, you could wait till he's not home and take them to the wife yourself. NTA, better yet, take the binoculars to the police station and return them there. Let them know you're uncomfortable with his voyeuristic behavior and want to avoid personal contact. Let the police handle it as they wish. If they end up visiting or contacting him, that might discourage him. It might also let his wife know of the situation in a way that doesn't directly involve you. If the situation escalates, you also have a record of his behavior. NTA, but I would consider filing a police report if you do not feel doing so puts any involved party's safety at risk. He was clearly spying on you and has been. This is very violating. It's harassment. This peeping Tom behavior will escalate, and you're also at risk of violence from the current situation. A report will help develop a pattern of behavior if you need to file an order of protection or pursue greater action down the line.